And welcome to part 47 of my report on the McCarrick Report by Patrick Parson. Today we start chapter 16 on page 169 of the McCarrick Report, titled McCarrick's Letter to Bishop Ziewitz and Pope John Paul II's Decision to Transfer McCarrick to Washington, August to November 2000. As we have seen, Archbishop McCarrick was considered for posts as Archbishop of Chicago, Archbishop of New York, and Archbishop of Washington, D.C. But each time a decision was made against it, because it was feared that his transfer and promotion to these sites could raise a bit of scandal if reports of certain allegations ever made it to the news media. Seeing his advancement going nowhere, McCarrick got into the act himself by writing a letter. On August 6, 2000, McCarrick sent a 3-page letter to Bishop Stanislaw Ziewitz, particular secretary to Pope John Paul II, and gave his side of the story in response to the concerns that had been specified by Cardinal O'Connor. In the letter, McCarrick says he has heard that Cardinal O'Connor had written a letter to the Pope attacking McCarrick as a bishop, as a priest, and as a man, and that if this was true, it was a grave accusation that left him bewildered, and that the Cardinal had asked McCarrick on 4 occasions if he wanted to serve as coadjutor Archbishop of New York. So here is a bit of a quote from McCarrick's letter. Never in all his years of service in New York did Cardinal O'Connor ever approach me with criticisms, accusations such as apparently are contained in his letter to His Holiness. Your Excellency, sure, I have made mistakes and may have sometimes lacked in prudence, but in the 70 years of my life, I have never had sexual relations with any person, male or female, young or old, cleric or lay, nor have I ever abused another person or treated them with disrespect. Some years ago, a series of anonymous letters accusing me of improper conduct were sent to the cardinals in the United States. I immediately shared them with the Apostolic Nuncio and brought them openly to the attention of our Archdiocese Presbyteral Council, so anxious I was to be as open to my priests as possible. I know that I wrote to Cardinal O'Connor at that time to assure him that the accusations were false. I had thought not to write you about this terrible complaint, and to leave the matter in the hands of God, who is the judge of all things. However, I discussed it fully with my confessor, and he advised me at least to contact you, whom I regard as a good friend and brother. In case Cardinal O'Connor's criticism of me involves others, it is good that I write, lest the reputation of anyone else be damaged unjustly." Unquote. What a good and holy man. Here the good Archbishop had planned to leave the matter in the hands of God until his confessor advised him to write, so no one else's reputation be unjustly damaged. Boy, what a great guy. But I wonder if there is a reason why McCarrick does not explain how he found out about Cardinal O'Connor's letter in the first place, since it was confidential and not addressed to McCarrick. McCarrick concludes his letter by offering to resign his diocese if the Pope has lost confidence in him, and prays that this cross will make him a better priest. What modesty, what humility, what goodness, what a skillful way to pull the wool over people's eyes. Bishop Ziewitz will, of course, see that Pope John Paul II sees the letter from McCarrick. Other people will also see the letter, and what is going to be the reaction? We will find out more in the following segment, but I'll give you one hint. If Archbishop McCarrick has started packing, it isn't because he thinks he's getting fired. Speaking of fire, there are some fires we should try to avoid through living our lives in faith, service, and prayer, particularly the prayer granted us by God's Holy Mother with the Fatima prayer. O my Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fires of hell, and lead all souls to heaven, especially those in most need of thy mercy.